Hi, this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast, where CEOs, COOs, and business owners share strategies for success. This is 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best strategies are concise business advice. And with that, we're going to get to our guest today. And so for our first question, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi there, I'm Andy Jorgensen. I run a small investment firm called Lighthouse Investments, and I also am part of the executive committee of the Salt Lake City Angels.
Great to have you on. You have a vast history in business and stuff, so we're excited to hear some of your advice. Speaking of business, question number 2, what's the best thing about being a business leader?
I think, when we look at things from the investment side of the table, we're dealing with many different companies at once. And with many different companies, it's many different strategies, it's many different approaches to business, multiple business models, multiple technologies sometimes. And you get a good broad sense of not only the market, how everybody is doing, but you also get to see lots of different things that may or may not apply to other businesses. You can take, statistical measures like customer acquisition cost and long-term customer value that maybe a software company uses, and apply them to something like a restaurant who probably never thought about what their customer acquisition costs were or what their repeat business looked like in terms of dollars. So I think the greatest thing about it is the ability to cross-pollinate different business ideas and create useful strategy information that you can share with other businesses.
A lot of innovation, and like you said, really affecting multiple businesses in your realm and making a difference not only in one business but lots of different businesses. So that's really cool. So question number 3, I hear from other leaders that a lot of times their people strategy can be more complex in their business than their actual business strategy. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I do believe that to a certain degree, the whole pandemic has exacerbated a little bit of that, because you have a roster of employees, and that translates to a larger ecosystem of customers, vendors, partners, people you're dealing with, and so managing a business involves interacting with all these different sort of ecosystems, whether they report to you or not. The pandemic has created a situation where some of your best employees may not all of a sudden be there for you because maybe their kids have been pulled out of school, maybe they have an elderly parent, maybe their home situation has changed, and now you have to rely on other people who may not have been your best employee. They may not have been your key employee, and you're asking them to step up and fill a role that maybe they've never filled before. Maybe it's something that you could never really motivate them for before. Maybe it was a situation where you're asking them to do something they've never done before, something that's outside of their job role or skill set, because of the fluidity of the situation and your need to get things done. You're asking everybody to kind of step up and dig in. So again, this is not just people who work for you. This could be your partners and vendors who are experiencing the same thing. And at the end of the day, we still got to deliver product to the door. We still got to deliver service to our customers. And in order to achieve that, we all kind of have to manage better as managers, be more fluid and flexible with our employees so that they can do what they need to do at home and do what they need to do to make a living. And last but not least, be almost pragmatic in how we approach things. just because you did something a certain way before and you took some sort of pride in that perfection doesn't mean it has to be done that way. We're in the realm of the 80-20 rule right now, where if it's 80% good, it's good, and let's move on.
Very good. Very thorough answer. I like that. All right. Question number 4. What strategy would you like to share with other business leaders?
Well, I think, I'm on the capital side, right? And a lot of times we're in situations where we're providing what's known as growth capital. And growth capital is for people who are, kind of have everything dialed in and they're looking to put some gas in the tank so they can press down the accelerator. But in the situation we're in, some of that is now survival capital. And I need money to not only keep the lights on, but also to be able to have a degree of growth, have a degree of stability, and a lot of times, the people who took like PPE loans and the emergency loans, that money is kind of running out right now. So if you're out there right now in a situation where you need to raise money, we really have to be strategic in our approach. Some people are doing sort of a spray and pray and asking everybody they know for money. I don't think that works. I think to be effective, you have to find people who can not only be a source of capital for you, but also a source of strategy for you to help your business overall, because you're dealing with more than the challenge of what's in your bank account. There's a lot of things going on. So having somebody who's an investor, but also a strategic advisor is going to be critical at this juncture. The other strategy that I think is very, very important is patience. If you've only got like 30 days worth of cash in the bank and you're going to run around and look for an investor, you're too late. You need to allow for additional time, because everything is taking longer right now. So you really have to have a plan of who you're going to target, and then you have to have a long time frame on which to execute that.
Really good answer. I like the part about, that money you can get almost anywhere sometimes, but it's more than money you need. You need that, like you said, the advisors and people that are vested in making sure that that money that you're getting, that you're borrowing, is actually going to benefit you and strengthen your company. And so
Yeah,
people are vested in what you're doing.
Sometimes we call that smart money, but
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. All right. With about 2 minutes left, question number 5. What other successful business owners, CEOs like yourself, would you like to acknowledge here you think would be good on this podcast?
Oh, there's a number of folks that are, in the community right now who are out there actively making a difference. And so, I think around, like, sort of in the healthcare space, there's Dr. Joe Novoslavsky, Phil Grimm, who also helps run the Salt Lake Angels with me, is doing a lot of great stuff in the medical field. In the general sort of business space, Hal Widlansky and Adam Slovic, also, great, like, strategic operators, right? Really, there's a certain degree of thinking that once you've done it and you know how it works, you can do it again. But part of it is also being able to think strategically and be able to execute on that strategy. And these guys are, good operators. It's not just they ran a business once and they were successful and they do it. These are guys who have run many businesses and invested in many businesses. So they know lots of different strategies. They know lots of different potential business models and ways to be successful.
Well, great. We will try to look them up and see if they're available to glean some advice from them as well. So,
one more.
Yeah.
Great resource is also Tara Spalding. She is doing great work with her firm Henhouse Ventures, and I would totally recommend her as well.
Okay. Well, we're just about out of time, but question number 6, just a final fun question. Tell me about your favorite past boss.
My favorite past boss is my current boss. I'm doing some side work for a software company that's out in the Bay Area. And this guy has literally, this is my third time with this company. I've been basically fired twice. And now I'm at my third go working at this company because, like, you know, we have this great sort of working relationship, but we come at things at a totally different approach. So we butt heads all the time. And like invariable, I've been working with him for the last 8 months now, and I know I know I'm gonna get that phone call. He's gonna fire me again, and then 2 years from now, he's gonna call me up. Hey, I need you back. And it's like it's kind of like it's almost a running joke at this point. Like, you know, when I'm going to be fired for the third time.
Well, that's interesting. That's hopefully you don't get fired, and hopefully if you do it, you know, you get that fourth opportunity. It sounds like you've done a lot of good that they keep bringing you back. So
Yeah, it just keeps, you know, every 2 years or so, it's like, well, we really need you.
well, it has been so fun having you on today. Before we leave, can you tell people how they can maybe reach out to you or get a hold of you?
Sure. The best way to check me out is Andy Jorgensen on LinkedIn. There's lots of Andy Jorgensens. I'm the one in Salt Lake City. Usually, you know, I'm not perfect at accepting connections, but usually within a day or two, I can get back to you.
Great. Well, and this is Keith Weaver with the Top Executive Strategy Podcast. For more insights and to follow us, you can follow us at Weaver Business Coaching or on LinkedIn or on your favorite podcast format. And we wish you the best success.